Hello, I'm Daniel. Welcome back inside my mind. Today, what's on my mind is actually something that I've experienced, but is really something that was solidified by something I saw recently. And it's this: I am always cautious of overly generous strangers, especially men. This dates back to the first time that I really noticed this was a night when I lived in Madison, Wisconsin. So I lived there when I was in my early 20s. I went to school at UW-Madison, and that was during the time where my drinking kind of took off. And I was a regular at this dive bar called Amy's, and still to this day, I miss that place. I really do. And I have a lot of stories from that place, but I'm just gonna share one. So I remember one night when generosity went horribly wrong, and I've never seen anything like it since. So I had just showed up at Amy's, and my friend Sammy was bartending that night. Sammy was 30 years old at the time, and she lived near the Capitol. And we were genuine friends. We talked all the time, so there was familiarity between us. So we're sitting there, and the way that Amy's would work is it would be dead, and then more towards midnight, it would get super crowded until about 2 a.m., and then everybody would kind of go to Ian's Pizza, which was right down the street. So this was in like that lull period before everybody else showed up. And me and her are just there, and we're drinking, or I'm drinking, and then somebody comes in and they say, "Hey, I'll order around for everybody in here." And it was just, again, me and I think maybe like one other person that was tucked away on the other side of the bar. So the four of us take a shot. And then like a minute later, the guy's like, "You know what? I'll pay for another one." So we do it. So we take two shots back to back. And that was cool. I was like, oh, it was nice. And then this other guy comes in. This older gentleman with this much younger girl comes in. And immediately he's talking about getting a round of shots for the bar. And I'm like, oh, this is like jackpot. I'm about to get like 3 free shots back to back. I mean, I was an alcoholic at the time. My drinking was expensive. This was great for me. So he pays for this round of shots. We all take them. And then he does it again. And so we all take another shot. So this is 4 shots within, I would say, a 15-minute span. And I'm sitting there like, okay, this is good. Like, I can just kind of sit back for a while on this. But then, ooh, he does it again. And this time, me and Sammy look at each other, and she's already starting to look like she knows she's about to be more drunk than she should be behind the bar. And I'm already thinking that this is going to be a blackout night for me. But I also was not in the habit of turning down free drinks. So again, she pours them out, and we take them. And that was the end of that guy. But then, just when I'm like, oh, thank God, I don't think I'm going to survive this, one more person walks in and orders a round of shots for everybody. And at this point, like, me and Sammy are kind of making eye contact, but at the same time, we don't want to acknowledge that we both know this is about to go south. So she pours them out, we take them, and at this point, there was about, I would say, 5 or 6 of us, including the gentleman and the younger girl, me, Sammy, and I remember there were 2 dudes that had been in the mix at this point that were there for maybe the past 4 shots or so. And so after this, we're just like, all right, I think that's enough rounds of shots for a little while. And so the 2 dudes that were in the mix, they leave to go to the bar next door, which was a sake bar. And while they're gone, for some reason, and this is the behavior that I see and why I am very cautious of overly generous people, especially men. So this man that had walked in with this younger girl, he starts getting upset. I don't know really why it started, but for some reason he had this idea in his head that this younger woman with him was more attracted to Sammy than him. And he got big mad about it. Like, it caused a scene. He makes the girl cry. He walks out and disappears. And the whole time there's this undertone of like entitlement of, I paid for all of this. And in the end, you might not even have sex with me. Like, that was the whole like subtext to everything that was going on. And so he storms out. And I go out to kind of smoke a cigarette because, again, I'm pretty drunk at this point, and I'm just trying to process everything that's happened in the past 30 minutes to an hour. And just as things are going badly in Amy's, as I step outside and light my cigarette, I see the door to the sake place open. And one of the two guys that had been in Amy's with us and had gone there just falls on his face flat on the sidewalk outside of it. Like, in the most comical, like, old movie, like, this dude's too drunk. Like, he just fell and he stayed there for a minute. And I realized we were all in rough shape. Like, this whole generosity of paying for drinks had really backfired. So I go back into Amy's and calm down this younger woman, and we call her a cab, and we take care of it. But I never really stopped thinking about that man that had been with her, and that kind of entitlement that I saw in him, and I've seen multiple times since. But recently I saw it again. So I was sitting at a local bar, and I don't drink anymore. So I'm not taking shots or anything, but then some dude walks in. And it's the same kind of dude that you would imagine would do this kind of behavior. A guy who looks like either he did or sold coke in like the 70s in some back alley. So he walks in, and of course he does the whole gonna buy a round of drinks for the bar. And that's cool. Some people do that, and it's really just they had a good day or they got a big bonus or something and they just want to share the love. That's awesome. But again, immediately, I am suspicious of overly generous people, especially men. So I'm waiting because I know this is probably going south. Lo and behold, I notice that this guy is kind of worming his way around the room and slowly trying to talk to or hit on every single woman that is sitting alone for even a second. I mean, a friend gets up, this dude is in that chair like a seat filler at the Oscars who really takes the job seriously. It was weird. But then he goes to this final woman. And I am, of course, watching because I people watch all the time, and I'm very curious what's going to happen. So I'm kind of paying attention to like this conversation across the bar with this guy. And I watched this weird interaction where I don't even know what to call what he was doing to this woman. But it was like, so this guy who just paid for this whole round for the entire bar is talking to this woman. It seems like it's going well. And at some point, he calls her an asshole for wanting him to pay for her drinks. Though I don't believe he had paid for any of her drinks at that point. And like really got nasty about it. to the point of where the bartender eventually kicked him out. And again, the whole underlying tone of it all is this sense of, well, I spent money on you, so now you owe me. And quite honestly, I'll say, if you're a man who's out there doing this, you're probably one of the biggest problems in the bar scene. Stop doing that. Stop trying to get people to like you so they'll forgive how horrible you actually are. Because that's all it is. It's trying to start the conversation with a leg up, knowing that you're probably going to rub people the wrong way. But it's something that I saw recently that I also just want to caution people against, especially young women who are out there in the bar scene. Don't trust overly generous men, especially men who buy you a lot of drinks, who are always flashing cash. Nothing is free to them. There is always something they're expecting in return. And it's horrible, and it's disgusting, and they're terrible people. Avoid them. Always, always, always be cautious about overly generous people, especially men, and especially ones you don't know that well. I know that's not exactly the most fun topic this week. However, it is an essential one. Because as much as I love the bar scene, as much as I love the music scene, and a lot of things that come with it, there are also these people in it that just bring things down when they're near. And beyond kicking them out of places or putting up signs with their faces on them like, hey, this person's not cool, all we can really do is spread the word. And that's what I'm doing in this episode. Stay safe out there and have fun. And if you see a creep lurking around, make sure you warn other people about them. Now, take care until the next time that I let you back inside my mind.